talking theories wild as they can be. Phantoms on the laptop, sharing memes galore. Vagabond saying I swear it's not hentai. Popcorn poppin', hop on the couch, anime playing, let's geek out. Heroes fighting, blasting the screen, the wildest crew you've ever seen. Power levels rising through the roof, plot twist hidden, that's the truth. Villains laughing but they don't know. Oh, our squad is ready for the hero glow. Anime with the homies all night long, cheering to the theme songs out and strong. From masters to ninjas to the fight supreme, we're living the ultimate anime dream. Pizza slices scattered on the floor, we're rewinding cause we need more. Epic battles leave us all in awe, dreaming of moves with just a jaw clenched draw. Talking theories like it's life or death, debating endings and out of breath. You pick the show, I'll hit replay.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday night. You know what that means. This is Anime with the Homies. Crease, how you doing, brother?
I'm enjoying this quesadilla, but yeah, it's really good. Gotta do my thing. Excuse me. It is Saturday night, and you guys could have been anywhere, but you're here with us. Liquid Ebola, how you doing, son?
I'm good. You know, the usual.
Thanks, Ebola.
You're welcome.
Welcoming, you know him, you love him. He is our co-host on For the Homies podcast. Welcome, BiggDoggJake, to the anime show.
Yay! Welcome me. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Ebola, Phantom, and Grease. Yes, I'm the co-host and the impetus for the Homies podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. And now I'm here for a very special episode of the Anime for the Homies. And it's because I'm a big anime dum-dum, and I don't know anything about it. And these guys right here are going to help learn me some knowledge. So we're going to see how that goes, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, so it's definitely anime for dummies. Okay, so Chris, let's get into our first subject. What's our first subject for tonight?
Well, I mean, since this is the thing that I presented like last minute, we could get this one over with real quick. Ebola, can you pull up that anime Texas bill one more time? Because you know what? I was just scrolling on Instagram, like, you know, the classic, you know, scrolling up reel type of thing.
Yeah.
And once again, for some reason, anime fans don't read. They're kind of stupid. It is what it is. They just don't read things. They don't look at the context. Because well, this one fool literally said, Texas, you guys are not going to get the new Demon Slayer movie because of the bill. I'm like, bruh, like, it literally just says, like, you know, this anime, quote unquote, anime bill is supposed to protect you from like AI anime art for children or whatever. So, you know, there ain't no weirdos like taking the likeness of children and put them on t-shirts.
This time it's highlighted.
Now, I'm going to let everybody know Vagabond right now is traveling because he was in Vegas, so he's not here tonight.
Yeah. Shout out to Vagabond. And yeah, people just don't know how to read. And I'm like, it specifically says that, you know, can you read that for me? Because, you know, I'm wearing sunshades. Ebola.
Yeah. Okay, it says bill to related to the creation of criminal offense of possession or promotion of obscene visual material appearing to depict a child. You know,
where does that say anime, people?
Yeah, for a group of people that like to watch it dubbed and with subtitles, you apparently are very terrible at reading.
Ooh, yeah, AP. That would be case law right there. People would be saying, "I swear it's not hentai."
I swear it's not hentai.
I seen you cracked up when you heard the intro where it says Vagabond. I swear it's not hentai.
I absolutely was. I lost it.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, maybe you guys could cook on this a little bit while I finish up this quesadilla. But like, how do you feel about these people that are over panicking about this type of stuff right here? Like,
I think
I'll let Jake. Let's let Jake talk about this. Let
Yeah.
him cook on this because he wasn't here when this dropped a few weeks
Okay.
ago.
So to start, possession of obscene visual material relating to a child or appearing to depict a child. That sounds fine as far as like a law is considered. You know, things like CP is illegal. We can all get behind why that's illegal. And this bill specifically, as far as I'm aware, is about generating images using AI that depict obscene material of a child. Now, as far as I'm aware, nowhere in this bill does it mention anything to do with anime, number one. Number two, I do not think it mentions anything to do with animation, like hand-drawn animation or CG. It's purely to do with like the things that, you know, Grok could spit out, or even like Midjourney can spit out, where it looks like a realistic image, and in this case, it would be a realistic image of a child in an obscene way. Again, these are all things that seem perfectly fine. Now, normally, the United States legislature is like really far behind technology. They have a very difficult time legislating, if at all, technological advancements because of how fast technology moves. And so, for one, I have to give kudos a tiny amount to the government of Texas, the legislator of Texas, for actually having the foresight to acknowledge that, hey, this technology could be used for evil, could be used for the wrongdoing, you know, depicting obscene material of a child, and trying to get in front of that to block it. What I can't see is how there are people out there who, number one, in the full context of the bill, see it as a bad thing. Number one, I understand you can make slippery slope arguments. I understand that you feel that if they reach for this, that means they could reach further and grab that, which means they could reach further and grab that from you. I understand that as well. But in totality, having people on YouTube or X or Instagram or whatever say completely, just completely out of this world stuff, like, oh, we're not going to get the new, you know, season of Demon Slayer, or oh, you know, we're no longer going to get any new anime movies. It's like, no, dude, shut up. Why are you fear mongering? You're doing because you want views. And why are you complaining? You might be complaining because you like obscene material. And as far as I'm aware, if you're a human being on the internet, especially like public facing in some manner like this, I don't think you want anyone to think for any reason whatsoever you would like to see obscene child material. So maybe pump the brakes a little bit if you're out there making content day after day after day after day talking about how this is a terrible, bad, horrific thing that's going to make it so you have to leave the state of Texas because you can't watch anime there anymore.
Well, so the way they can fix this with like AI generated stuff, Grok has it already built in. You cannot make obscene pictures with Grok. You just can't.
Yes, there's locks on it. There's locks on AI. But see, this is what I was saying about how governments are typically really bad at legislating technology because of how fast it moves. And the fact that they're jumping in front of this because eventually we're going to get to a point where AI is so good that and eventually if it's going to become like artificial general intelligence, locks aren't going to matter. Like AI locks aren't going to matter. You'll just be able to make literally whatever, whenever. And so having this kind of law on the books, I think is helpful for the future. You know,
because I was gonna say because like you want to know how like it's not gonna affect anime. Like we got like 3 or 4 anime conventions coming up
in the state of Texas.
In the state of Texas, in the city of Houston, by the way.
Anime
I'm just saying the city of Houston. Yeah.
Anime Masuri. You got the
There's
one that
there's another one that at the Real Lion Stadium got like an anime fest that's ran by one of my friends already and everything. So like, you know, this is what happens when you just don't read. You just fearmonger. You just say like, "Oh, State of Texas versus anime." Like, no, I just like any other person. I was like, "Hold up, wait a minute. All right, I'm an anime fan. Let me go look at this real quick." It only takes about maybe not even 5 minutes, probably like 2 seconds.
dude. I would be
And
more worried. I'll be worried about the people that are fighting this. I'll be really worried about those people that are fighting this, saying that this is a bad
the
thing.
ones that preach the ones that preach the loudest are the ones that have the most to hide. Shout out to Jeremy.
I do feel like at face value, before you read it, at first, when you just hear about it, it sounds scary. But then if you actually look at it, it's like, okay, that seems reasonable enough. So maybe they aren't looking deep into it, and they just hear it and they're freaking out without actually bothering to go check.
I have a quick question. Ebola, could you tell you're on the website looking at the bill? Could you tell me how many pages the bill is? Like how long it is? It'd say like somewhere near the top. How many
I think it's like 21 pages.
Okay, for a bill, that ain't shit. A 21-page bill. First off, they're all double spaced, and secondly, they run size 14 font. Like a 21-page bill, you can knock out in 10 minutes. You can read that. So people who are freaking out, I mean, AP said if you just read the headline, you'll easily be fooled. That's like most journalism, generally. I mean, journalism. But a 21-page bill from like a state legislature,
that ain't nothing.
Nothing. That's
and
nothing.
this is only the 20, like the 20th bill part.
Yeah, Texas Senate bill. It's the 20th bill of the session of the Texas Senate.
Yeah. And people don't understand, like, anime is like really big in Texas. Like, we literally have Crunchyroll down here. You think that they're gonna mess that up? You dum dums, like, seriously, y'all don't read, like, and you guys don't look at context. You got
isn't there an anime studio there in Texas?
Yeah, there's one that they have High Dive or whatever, like just like High Dive and Crunchyroll like are in the state of Texas. Like they have like there's a lot of voice actors in the state of Texas. They're not stupid, man. Like they understand what they were like. Come on, guys. It's just read. That's it. Read.
For those of you that are fans of like Dungeons and Dragons, all the Critical Role people are in Texas. Their company is based out of Texas, and all of them live in Texas. And that is, I mean, unfortunate for someone like me who used to be a more like successful voice actor. Those like 20-ish people are a massive section of English voice acting for things like anime and cartoons. So a bill like this, if a bill like this were to actually affect them, you would see way more pushback than you see now. You wouldn't just see a few people on YouTube complaining like, "Oh no, anime's dead in Texas, boo hoo." No.
My rule is this: if Chris Sabat ain't talking, you don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, that is true.
You would know.
Or Sean Schimmel. If those two are silent, it's good. Yeah. So there ain't nothing to worry about, people. Like, just read the bill. That's it. That's my only thing. Like, you know, I understand that some of you guys love anime, but y'all guys gotta really, really read stuff before. Don't look at headlines. You gotta just read. That's it. Read. That's it.
Reading comprehension is a valuable skill.
It is. It's extremely.
So now we gotta talk about a certain vampire. Oh, this is gonna be funny. So we all know that Mahershala Ali was announced several years ago that he was going to play Blade in a live-action Blade movie for Marvel, and it went into development hell. And most recently, They outright canceled it. So what does Marvel do? They're gonna do a what if cartoon with Mahershala Ali's Blade. Not even giving him a movie.
Yeah, it's supposedly just gonna. It said up here is gonna be a zombie TV series,
Mm.
but I guess it's what if based on the zombie.
Mhm.
Maybe it's an additional because some the season 2 what if kind of added to the season 1 some what if stories, so that might just be adding to the zombie what if one.
Now, is this an official announcement from Marvel that this is
Yeah.
going to be the season 3 finale episode? Mahershala Ali voicing Blade, and Blade becomes Moon Knight as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I feel like it's kind of it feels like from this side of the stadium, it feels like a slap in the face. Now, I imagine Mahershala Ali has been aware that they're going to do this cartoon for quite some time now. You know, they literally just announced it, so I imagine he's known about it for a while. However, it is kind of funny in a kind of dark way to look at it from this side, that like the day that we get we officially know that the Mahershala Ali Blade movie is canceled, that they come out with a Marvel What If cartoon where he voices Blade. Which seems seems really disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Once again, Kevin Feige doesn't like black superheroes.
Didn't I say this like not too long ago that they would put him in a cartoon before they give him the live action movie? I said this a while back, and I was wrong.
Guess what? Yeah.
Well, I already knew that I already knew the Blade movie wasn't going to happen. Like, you know, as soon as they announced it, I said, man, this thing ain't going to happen, because once again, like, it was like Mahershala Ali was begging Kevin Feige to do the movie. Like, it was not in Kevin Feige's plans. He only told him that he was going to do it just to shut him up and leave him alone.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Pretty much.
It's probably like I'll say I'll do it, but not actually have any plans to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
You had those four rumored plots. Like it's when a woman can be the main character. It's him talking about his feelings. He's gonna be the fourth main character of the movie. It's like they're just trying to prevent this from coming out.
And also, the writing strikes didn't help either. That did not help this movie either with the writing strikes or whatever.
But you know what screwed him over? What truly screwed him over? Wesley Snipes made his return to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
For sure. That killed it. Like, there was a lot of things that killed this movie. It's like, one, Kevin Feige didn't want to do it. Two, like, the writing strikes were happening. And then Deadpool 3, when Wesley Snipes made his appearance on the big screen, the big screen is done. Dead in the water. Is like, you know.
I mean, wasn't one of his lines in Deadpool and Wolverine that there will only ever be one Blade?
The only one Blade.
Yep.
One Blade. Yeah.
Yep. That's what happened.
And you know, Feige obviously looked over the shooting script. You knew that.
Yeah,
he saw that. So
he basically fired Mahershala Ali on his day off. He pulled a Friday on him, bro.
How you get fired on your day off?
But Jake, this is the thing.
Chris Tucker.
When the leaks happen that Wesley Snipes was going to come back to play Blade,
right?
That's one of the reasons people went to see that was to see Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Blade movies. I mean, that third one, call it for what you will. People don't like the third Blade movie, but I love all three movies. And
you know what? That Blade movie, the third Blade movie, Blade Trinity, was probably the impetus for him being in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Because
obviously, Ryan.
Him and Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds was in that and played Deadpool.
And they hated each other.
And
They hated each other in real life at that time, or whatever.
Yeah.
But they said that they talked it out and they forgive each other or whatever. Like Wesley was saying, like that was wrong for me to treat you like as a new guy or whatever, and then Ryan Reynolds said like, yeah, I was annoying when I was younger, so like I can understand why you didn't like me. Like I apologize, bro. So
it's like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover talking out their racism and making a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, please be good.
You're a racist, I'm a racist, but we can all be cool with each other.
We can be united in the fact that we hate each other. That brings us together.
Now, so the rumors were that Mahershala Ali was supposed to be part of either Doomsday or Secret Wars, and that's definitely not going to happen now. So I'm thinking we're going to have Blade in probably either or both movies. We're going to have Wesley Snipes.
He wanted to be out of his contract anyway because he saw like it wasn't getting done. Like he just asked them to like, can I just, like, they got him out. They released him from his contract so he could like do like other movies, like with this whole entire Jurassic World movie that he's going to be part of.
Yeah.
With Scarlett Johansson, another person who got out of their contract.
Yeah. So basically, his contract was being held up for that Jurassic Park because of Marvel, and so that film they filmed that I think it was last year or the year before. So they must have let him go a lot sooner than what we think, and I think they let him go a long time ago. To be honest with you.
Well, like they were still doing the reshoots and like, well, actually, no, there was no reshoots. They were just like doing the script, and even Mahershala Ali said like, "Can I just write the script so we can get this movie started?" They weren't trying to do the movie, bro, because Kevin Feige did not want this thing to come out. Like, and I find it funny. And shout out to my boy Salone Tempest, which he's gonna be coming back on the show in May later or whatever. Like, shout out to him. He did a video talking about he said like, okay, so you canceled the Blade movie, a historically black character, but you push Ironheart, you push Captain America 4 and Wonder Man. I'm not surprised, like, that are all race swap characters or whatever. So
Wonder Man. Who is Wonder Man? I'm not aware of that.
So character. Wonder Man has the ability to grow in size. So he's like Giant Man in a way, but he can grow in size and he's like super intelligent. And originally he was white, but they made him black for the movie.
Ebola, like type in Wonder Man, like the comic book.
So
yeah.
So
I'm already on it.
So in the original Civil War storyline, the robot Ragnarok, which is a robot version of Thor, kills him, and it sets off.
Yeah.
Kills Wonder Man.
Yeah, and literally sets off. Civil War. Literally sets off Civil War.
Yeah. And can you like Ebola? Can you type in the Wonder Man trailer or whatever, like for Marvel?
Wait, there's a trailer for it.
Yeah, like he was in promotions or whatever. Like you go from this Wonder Man to like old boy that did.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's not even he.
That's Wonder Man.
I was gonna say
he old boy that did Black Manta is now it's the new Wonder Man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's Black Manta. That's the actor, and he's dressed like oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the guy's name.
He looks like the dude that does the Medea.
He looks like
who? Wait, oh gosh, totally blanking. But anyways, it looks like he should be ripping cocaine and singing in jazz clubs in the 80s.
Dude, he looks like The Weeknd.
Oh,
he looks like The Weeknd.
Oh God, no! I have a personal musical.
No, he looks like Meek. Jake. He looks like Meek Mills, dude, right here.
He does look like Meek Mill.
Tyler Perry. He looks like Tyler Perry, the Medea.
Nah, he don't look like
you said Meek Mill. I'm like, yeah, he definitely.
He looks like Meek Mills, bro. Like
he looks like Meek Mill if he couldn't get him shaped. He couldn't get shaped up properly, and he was wearing glasses that were a few decades out of style.
It reminds me of the stereotypical black family TV show with music.
Yeah.
Oh, like Empire.
Yes.
Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if people. So if you ever wanted to have a Wonder Man special, guess what? You're not getting the actual Wonder Man. You're getting a cosplayer as Wonder Man. That's what it is.
You're getting someone who's dressed kind of like Stevie Wonder. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder presents Wonder Man.
It's the amalgamation universe, so it's going to be Black Manta as Wonder Man.
It's like, listen. Like this is like, I know Disney wants this show to come out like so quick. They probably drop all the episodes in one day. Like that in Ironheart. They want you to forget this series ever happened or whatever. You know, that's what they do. Because that's what happened with Echo last year.
Well, go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the closest analog that I can think of is I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was back when this was back when it was Ike Perlmutter's baby, like in 2017 or 2018, when the Eternals came out. And remember, they released the first like 2 episodes in IMAX. Like that was a really big deal. And then apparently for the
that's the Inhumans,
the Inhumans, not the Eternals. Excuse me, the Inhumans. They released the first 2 episodes in IMAX, and the next 6 they actually released week to week. Now it's so funny when you look at this. If you go to Disney Plus and you search for the Inhumans, it's you search for the Inhumans and there it is. However, it doesn't say like if you like the Inhumans, you might also like this or like that. Because if you go to Disney Plus, you can search for anything at all. And it's going to show a bunch of like other recommended shows, and it'll show like the big shows like The Mandalorian that you might want to watch. If you search for the Inhumans, nothing else appears next to it. It's like Disney absolutely wanted that buried because that show.
Yeah, they like if Disney wants it buried.
Just for reference, the first thing is suggested when you click on it is Captain Marvel. That's what it should tell you.
Okay, so I want to answer this. I can tolerate the Eternals because they butchered the Inhumans.
The Inhumans were god awful, and so I would say, AP, what is worth Eternal or Inhumans? The
Inhumans got canceled,
and look at it like this: the Eternals are actually coming back. The Eternals are going to be a part of the new part of Secret Wars.
Yeah, I was honestly disappointed because had the actress who plays Zatanna in Inhumans, and then that thing got canceled before the season was even done.
I'm going to say this much. So they bastardized Black Bolt twice.
Oh, they made Black Bolt look like garbage, and then they killed him in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
And the thing is, that still just it pisses me off that he's like Black Bolt can kill you with one word when he opens his mouth. What mouth? And then goes blows his brains out.
Oh, dude. And in the show, it was absolutely hilarious how he killed his parents. It was because they had the shot and they were panning around and it was in slow motion and you just hear a teenage boy go, "Why?" And then you see his parents get fucking atomized in front of him.
Well, another thing, the only thing that was in the Inhumans that was actually comic book accurate and actually looked good was Lockjaw. Lockjaw was the only good thing in that show because at least they got the dog to look right. He could teleport.
The dog did look pretty good, except after the first 2 episodes, they kept him in a barn for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's like, fuck.
They're like, look, our budget is running real thin. We can't afford to keep putting them on screen. Let's just put them in a barn somewhere.
Jake, you remember they cut Medusa's hair? They cut her hair with her powers, man. I'm like,
yeah. They what's his name? Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones shaved her head. Also, I felt the series was I know we're getting way off topic here, but just real quick, I thought the series like main inciting incident was BS, because you have a guy who's he's kind of an asshole and he's a little off-putting, but he's totally correct. Like, you go into the box of magic powers, and if you come out and if you don't have butterfly wings or cloven hooves or whatever, you get sent down in the mines to dig out more crystals. And then at the end of the series, the royal family's like, you know what? We're going to move to a bigger space, and we're not going to have everybody go down into the mines and dig crystals, and we're all going to be equal. It's going to be wonderful. It's like, that's what the fucking guy was trying to do the entire show. Yeah, he was a little bit of an asshole, but that's what he wanted to do.
I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It did it better.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did the Inhumans better than the Inhumans show.
Yeah.
Wait.
Ike Perlmutter wanted Quake to be in the Inhumans, but Feige was like, no. No. We're not going to let that happen. I'm honestly be bad and have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. be bad.
A rare Kevin Feige good decision.
Yeah, a rare Kevin Feige W.
So Jake, good question. So when they did the Inhuman thing, if you didn't get powers, you went down to the mines. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. Well, everybody got powers when you went to the box, but if your power wasn't like good, I guess, like, because you can go in there and you can get anything. They had a guy who like had a big face as a projector. They had a guy who shot lasers from his face, and then you'd have a girl go in and she would get like butterfly wings, and that was really cool and stuff. And so she got to live up with all the rich people. But if you had a power that wasn't like visually appealing, you were just sent down into the mines to dig out more of those crystals.
Yeah.
And they came up with some bullshit reason why you couldn't go back into the box again to get another shot, like a reroll, a mulligan on your powers. The whole story was BS. If you're interested after the stream, look at Mr. Sunday Movies on YouTube. Shout out to those guys. They did a caravan of garbage on the Inhumans, and they run through the whole thing and why it's BS. Absolutely.
I think we can start talking about anime now again. Like,
no, we got one more subject.
Oh, okay.
We have a trailer.
I'm ready to learn.
We have a trailer. So they just dropped a new trailer for the Digimon game that's coming out really soon.
Digital monsters.
Digimon champions.
We might not be able to play the music, so just play it without the audio, Ebola.
All right. Okay.
Agumon Digivolve to Greymon.
And I know people love Pokemon. I love Digimon over Pokemon any day.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You would take Digimon over Pokemon? Okay.
Yeah.
See, like, for me, if it's the games, I gotta go with Pokemon. But if we're talking about the anime, it's Digimon. Like, Digimon did a better anime or whatever.
Okay.
I mean,
this is pretty dope.
If we're talking about recent Pokemon games, then I think that's a different story, because recent Pokemon games have been meh.
Yeah, pretty bad.
So you're actually getting characters from all the animes, even the ones where there's the Spirit Evolution characters are going to be in this game.
Freaking love Spirit Evolution.
Yeah. I might save up to get this if it's on Xbox, because I do want to play
this is a fighting game, right?
Yeah. Ooh, this
it's
is gonna be a
PS5.
serious yes. That
I might have to get that. I might have to. Get me back into gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to get you back in the game, homie, so we can talk about games.
Yeah, we gotta get you into playing Minecraft, so we all can go play the Minecraft server when ABF gets off his lazy ass and makes it.
He said, server to run it. It's look, he just wants to do it properly.
Is that before or after he does the what was it, Diablo 4 or whatever?
Diablo. He said he's going to do Diablo 4 before he does the Minecraft server.
He wants to test it out first.
Actually,
so-
Minecraft would be the better
So-
better one to do.
Yeah, Minecraft's the better, easier one to test the server on.
So steering this back on track, what you guys, Ebola, Phantom, Crease, what are y'all's history with Digimon? Like, when did you first watch it? You know, what's your opinion of it, et cetera?
So
Because for myself,
I
Digimon was like a small blip when I was young. Like I watched I'm pretty sure I watched the first season of Pokemon, and I watched like the first 2 Pokemon movies. And then I remember when Digimon came out, I don't know like what grade I was in or whatever, but you know, all the kids at school were like really into Digimon for like a couple of months and then switched back to Pokemon. So it was kind of like a little blip for me and then just totally disappeared. I haven't thought about it for years and years and years. I'm
so
interested in
I watched the cartoons when they first came out, and they had PlayStation 1 Digimon Ballerina games that coincide with the Gundam Ballerina series,
Mhm.
and it was Digimon, and
Okay.
I played every single one of them. I played the Digimon games up
Preschool
until
receipts.
for years. So Digimon to me, I love the Digimon cartoons. A lot of people didn't like the later series, but they're to me they were better than Pokemon. I'm just saying
Okay.
they're
Fair enough.
better than Pokemon.
Fair enough.
And because at least the Digimon characters actually had personality. They had their own personality and
They
their
didn't just repeat their
transformation.
names over and over again.
No.
Pikachu,
They
Pika,
actually,
Pika, Pika.
I mean, they actually talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, of course,
There it is.
got the first 4 seasons right there. Even got the signature of the guy that played Ty to do it for the first season of Digimon. And then of course I got like the Digimon, like the new Digimon movies or whatever. So you know, like even though I like Pokemon more or whatever, I fucks with Digimon. Digimon's cool or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I can objectively say that Digimon is a better anime, but like the Pokemon games are way better than the Digimon games, in my opinion, or whatever. Of course, my favorite Digimon is always going to be Angelmon. Like that was my guy right there. Angelmon and Angelwoman, like those were that duo was cold. TJ was my kid. That was my guy right there. Patamon and all of them.
Dude, War Greymon and Melgurugomon are my favorite because
Oh yeah,
when they first went Ultimate against Doublemon, that was so
yeah.
fucking cool. It's like Akumon.
Also, I like Black War Grey. I love Black War Greymon because Steve Bloom played the voice of that. Like see, you didn't even know. A lot of people forget about that one. Steve Bloom played Black War Greymon. I say like, damn, he was in all my childhood. So like, yeah, it's an honor to meet Steve Bloom like last year. So that was cool. Or whatever.
And for those of you watching at home, you can see this face of blissful unawareness, and that's why I'm here, because these guys might as well be speaking Mandarin to me because I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Don't actually speak Mandarin, Ebola.
Ni hao.
So, all right, so now let's get into the anime for dummies
main event.
section of
Here
the
we
show.
go, baby.
The main
Okay.
event.
So
Buckling up.
when it comes to anime fans, you're in 4 camps.
Okay.
You got classic anime fans, which is myself. I like some of the classics. I like some of the newer stuff. And you got newer fans. Then you got those hardcore fans that think everything else is shit. Then you got the people that just think that people like animes are weirdos and freaks and pedos and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ask away, Jake. When
you want me to ask? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, to give a little bit of background, I guess, for myself, is from what I can recall, I have, of my own volition, I've watched. I think I've watched 3 anime series in my entire life. I've watched.
That's most people.
I've watched Black Lagoon. Well, they're
Okay.
small. I've watched Black Lagoon. I've watched all of it.
Mhm.
So all 4-ish seasons of that. I've watched Black Lagoon.
Mhm.
I've watched Monster, which was a recommendation to me a long time ago because it was like kind of a detective.
That's a good one.
It was 32 episodes or so. I've watched that. I have watched. I guess we can count like the first season or 2 seasons of the Pokemon anime. So I guess that kind of counts, maybe.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah,
And at the behest of my wife, these aren't series, these are movies, but I've watched Vampire Hunter D and Vampire Hunter D 2000.
That's a good one.
That is it. And there has been smatterings of like episodes of Dragon Ball Z here and there on like Toonami and stuff, but that's it. That's all I've ever seen of any anime whatsoever.
So,
and I don't seek it out, and I don't really watch it in my own free time.
Okay. So this is just my recommendation. Like when I talk to people about anime, because I don't really force it on anybody. You just gotta ask me, and then that gives me the green light to like tell you what to watch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I always ask like what type of genre of movie that you like, or what type of genre of TV shows that you like, and like you give me that type of what you like, I can give you what you need to watch. And people, for God's sake, do not give your friend that just started anime watching like freaking Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. No. You don't do that. You don't do that. Like you need to keep it. You need to keep it simple. Simple, and also another thing, do not give them like stuff in the 90s or the mid 2000s. They ain't ready for that. You need to start them off with something newer, like a Solo Leveling. Hell, even Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon is like kind of newish or whatever.
I love Black
Or
Chris, they can go to Netflix and watch the Ultraman anime that's on there, or the Pacific Rim anime that's on there right now.
So if I may interject here, this is something that I've heard a lot, which is the various animes that are on Netflix. Now, I don't know if people are being specific about like Netflix originals or just ones that Netflix has imported, but I have heard both sides. I've heard people say the anime that you can see on Netflix is good, you should watch it. However, I've also heard this other side where people are like, if there's anime on Netflix, it's fucking garbage. Never watch it. It's not worth it.
Okay.
So
let me say,
it's like a 50.
We're already
it's a
getting
50,
into
it's 50.
It's 50-50.
It's
There's
50-50.
some good there's some good anime on there, and there's some trash anime on there.
Yeah. So
It really
this is where it really just depends or whatever. Like I said, like you want to start off people with like small, like somewhat popular animes. Like once again, I will always start people off with like a Death Note or a Cowboy Bebop or something. Like, you know, it's like the animation is new enough to where it won't take you out of the thing. Like, you know, you'll still be able to watch it. However, do not like put people on. Don't put people like on 80s and 70s anime. They're not going to be interested. People like don't do that. Like, you know, don't do 90s anime. You can get away with mid 2000s.
You could do movies.
Yeah, there's certain
anime movies from the 80s.
You could do anime movies, but I'm like saying like for TV show wise, like once again, like the new stuff like Solo Leveling, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. Like these are like a lot of normie like franchise people recognize. You can put Brotherhood. Like that one's pretty short. That's like 47 episodes or whatever. That's Bleach. Not Bleach. No. Don't put them on Bleach.
1000 Year War.
Okay, 1000 Year War. Okay, or whatever. Yeah, like 1000 Year War, you can do that or whatever. But like with Bleach, I wouldn't personally do it because if somebody wants to watch the whole entire thing, I'm not gonna make them watch over 200 something episodes. They can lose interest or whatever. Yeah. So you know,
Ebola, can you pull up the the stuff for Ultraman on Netflix, the animated series? just pull up something from there, and we just watch it on the background
Now,
because it's
see,
actually really good. Not
Phantom,
not Rises, but the other one.
Phantom, I know that you are a massive Ultraman fan. So much so that, like, when we were setting up the For the Homies Discord, which you should join, it's a great time. We actually created an Ultraman section for it.
Which Ultraman one? The Rises one or the?
No, the other one. It's the other one.
So when it comes to things like Ultraman, for instance, and I know that there's analogous shows to that. There are, so for Ultraman, for instance, we'll take it in this case. We'll take Ultraman. There is Ultraman, which has been around for decades at this point,
Since
which is
66,
which is live action. It's a live action series largely, and there's also an animated series. Okay,
there's been multiple anime series. The very first one was Genius in like 70, like in the 70s. Then they teamed up with Hanna-Barbera in the mid 80s and did a pilot movie that just didn't go nowhere.
Okay, you just hit on the point that I wanted to that I was going to ask about, and that is when you have Japanese live action shows like Ultraman, for instance, and they decide that they're going to do an animated series, they're going to do an anime. You just mentioned how in that early Ultraman animated series they teamed up with Hanna-Barbera, a very famously American company who did the Flintstones.
This one.
What?
Yeah,
badass
though.
Yeah. Look up find this series, but look up for the Ultraman Toro. There's like there's some more of it. But this series right here was based off of a manga. No, that's gonna be the live action Toro.
Most animes are based off of manga.
You had to put
they?
Netflix Ultraman. You had to put Netflix Ultraman. So in this series, it's very unique. It's different because in Ultraman they become giants. They're literally giants fighting giant kaiju. In this series, they're normal size humans that fight normal size creatures. So they don't grow large or anything. And it was unique for this anime and manga series. But so the Hanna-Barbera, they helped produced it. They had Japanese artists come over and worked with the Hanna-Barbera people to craft the world, the designs, and everything. And like I said, their first attempt was Ultraman Junius back in the 70s because they had like a hiatus of Ultraman because they were in a downtime and they decided to do an anime. And this right here is actually I watched all 3 seasons. It's either 1 or 2 seasons, I can't remember. And Rises is actually really good too.
How many episodes is it?
I can't remember. It's been a while since I think it's like 3 seasons.
Okay.
This one has 3 seasons, and Rises has
Rises is just 1.
Yeah, Rises is a movie.
So I can see the appeal. I can see the appeal in the animation style. I can see the appeal in the fighting. Now,
because
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Jake. Oh,
well,
I was just gonna. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, the reason I was drawn to Black Lagoon, for instance, when I've since forgotten who recommended it to me in the first place, but the reason I was drawn to Black Lagoon was because it was realistic, I guess you could say. Like the first 2 seasons at the very least were realistic. There wasn't magic or sorcery or anything crazy. There's a lot of guns.
You like grounded stuff.
I like things that are grounded. And when I have spoken to people about that preference, let's say that I like pretty grounded anime, almost without fail, do they end up saying, "Oh, well, that's boring," or "That's not interesting. You have to get into something that's like this, or you have to get into something that's like that."
Yeah,
You know,
that's what you like.
Yeah, it is what I like. But as you guys are probably aware,
Mhm.
that in the various anime camps, people are like set in stone on
Totally
this, and
different.
They seem to
Yeah.
never deviate. Like they will never watch a type of anime that is different from what they would normally watch.
Yeah.
Like for myself, I like the sci-fi. I mean, when it comes to anime, I don't like harem anime. I don't like
Here it
I
goes.
don't like slice of life anime. Those are the animes I don't like. I just don't like.
Mhm.
I'm more into the sword and sandal. I'm into the sci-fi. I'm into mechs. Um,
Mechs are cool. I will say that
uh,
mechs are
fight
cool.
fighting. The fighting stuff.
Right.
I mean, like horror anime is really good.
Mhm.
Um. So with me, it's like, I'm always gonna like some anime that is like killing some demons. So like, Yu Yu Hakusho, Demon Slayer, Hellsing Unlimited, what else? Is
Hell, Fist of
Inuyasha,
the North
things like
Star.
that.
Fist of the North
Yeah,
Star. Yeah.
Fist of the North Star is cool or whatever. But Jake, if you're looking for some grounded in reality, this is what I highly recommend. Is this one, Samurai Champloo? It's simple, it's grounded in reality, and it's funny as hell, especially in the English dub because Steve Bloom is playing Mugen or whatever. Like there's some other. It's basically like hip hop mixed in with Japanese culture. I think you'll really like this one. It's only
Well,
26 episodes or whatever.
Crease, he can watch Inertial D, where it's the
Initial
car
D?
racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
so
mean
so
Initial D?
I am aware
Yeah.
of Initial D because
Mhm.
I'm aware of the Toyota
Yeah.
Camry
Mhm.
CM86,
Yeah.
drifting down Dragon's Tail. I
Mhm.
haven't watched the show, but I'm very much aware of it. Coming from
Yeah.
a culture, I guess, that really enjoys like cars and bikes and things like that. I know
Yeah.
that Initial D is a really popular one that people really like. So
I'm always in the camp. I'm always in the camp of like you can't you can't always go based off of what you like. You have to see what the other person likes or whatever. And also in this age of like people having short attention spans, you got to make sure that the episodes are like not over 100 episodes. Because unless you're a One Piece fan and you're cool with that or whatever, you do that. However. But like for most people that are just getting started in anime, I always just recommend once again Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, Black Lagoon, Solo Leveling now. Solo Leveling is pretty good. Demon Slayer. These are all normie animes, by the way, but that's okay. Like you don't expect we were all normies at one time. Like people keep on forgetting that. That's just the thing. Like people forget about that. That you were a normie at one point, no matter what you do.
For me, I was really never a normie because when I was a kid, they had from Japan weekends at the drive-in, so I got to watch a lot of Japanese anime and stuff. When I was a kid,
but I think the point
what I'm trying.
Go ahead, Chris.
We all started. What I'm saying is, we all started at one point. Either like you didn't even know that it was anime and you thought it was a cartoon, or like in your case, Phantom, you had like Japanese nights down there or whatever. He was a normie. Like I'm sorry, we were all normies at one point until you just start really just kept on coming back. You kept on coming back. You kept on coming back until you just like actually. Once again, I don't believe you master anything in life You just like keep on being a student and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Phantom, me and you, we're big Batman fans. We can even call ourselves master, but I'll never call myself a master because I always will always learn there's always somebody that knows more than you, or whatever. There's
Right.
always somebody and everything. So that's how I see it, or whatever.
But like, Jake, you've seen Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Yes, I watched Vampire Hunter D and I watched Vampire Hunter D 2000 Bloodlust. Yeah, me and my wife watched those together. Those were big recommendations.
Yeah.
I thought they were pretty enjoyable. They were a little out of my, I wouldn't say they were out of my comfort zone, but I would say that if it wasn't, if it was just me, if I wasn't watching it with somebody else, I probably would not have watched it. And now that doesn't mean I wouldn't enjoy it, but it just means that if I was browsing the shelves, if you were, and I saw it, I wouldn't have just picked it up on my own, you know. And again, I know I keep going back to this, but like if I was browsing the shelves and I saw Black Lagoon, I'd be like, okay, I'll give this a shot and really enjoy it. And I, you know, two things that I think you guys have hit on is one, there are certain ultra popular anime that have hundreds, if not over 1,000 episodes, number one. And there are people that say, well, it gets good after episode 100 or whatever. And I'm like, nah, I ain't got time for that.
Don't do that to people.
And then there's also people that say that if an anime does not have a storyline that takes weeks or months of, you know, a few hours a day watching it to consume before you understand it, that it's not a real anime. I'm like, dude, if it's an anime, like any show, you know, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes, they all have to be good for me. You know, I can't, I'm not going to spend a weekend, you know, like 10 hours on Friday, 10 hours on Saturday, 10 hours on Sunday, you know, if I had nothing to do, this is another big concern. Getting into an anime, I feel that people misunderstand what that should mean. Getting into something doesn't necessarily mean, or getting into something doesn't mean that you're supposed to spend tens or hundreds of hours before you start to enjoy it. Getting into something should be that the moment you put it on, you're engrossed with it and you want to continue watching more. That's how you get into it. And I feel that a lot of anime fans, maybe it's because they're in their own bubbles, maybe it's because they only like what they like and they disregard everything else. They believe that getting into something, getting into an anime is watching hours and hours and hours and hours of it
it's not like
you
that.
start to finally like it. And to me, that just seems like that just seems wrong.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Now for myself, if somebody recommends me an anime and I watch it, there are 3 things that will get me to continue to watch the show. One, it's got to have a banger intro. It's got to have a really good intro.
Okay.
Number 2, the story. There's got to be something in that story, that first episode, be like, oh man, I got to finish watching this. I can't wait for the next episode.
Right.
And then it's gonna be the voice acting, because a lot of anime I watch English stuff. I can't watch anything anime sub. I just can't.
Right.
I just can't. And what, okay. Prime example. So Dragon Ball Daima came out and we were watching it.
Came out a few weeks ago, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah. And we were watching it, and originally I thought it was going to be awful. It was going to be bad. I enjoyed the hell out of it. For what I got to watch of it, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's what GT should have been, hands down.
Okay, so here is you. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly, because this is also something that I've seen with fans. So, Phantom, you just said with Dragon Ball Daima that initially you thought it was going to be bad, or that you weren't going to enjoy it at the very least. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, this is good. this is something that I've also heard a lot, which is when people go to watch an anime, they have this, like, I don't know if it comes with experience of watching so many animes or what have you, but they seem to have like this sixth sense of, they can tell within like the first few minutes of an episode if a show is going
Where
to
it's
be
going.
bad.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can tell where it's going.
Mhm.
Now, is that something that just
Mhm.
comes with experience? That comes with
Yes.
watching lots of
It's
anime?
experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
I
Yeah.
imagine as a new guy like me, I imagine that, I haven't developed that sense. I haven't developed that ability to watch the first few minutes of an episode and be like, yeah,
That-
this shit, I'm not going to spend time.
That comes with
Let me-
experience, Jake.
let
I
me just
mean,
say this
like, the more shows that you watch. Hold on, fam. Let me just say this: the more shows you watch, it don't even matter if it's anime, like Marvel, DC, whatever. It could be any medium. The more you've seen it, the more you know what's been to happen. Like, like it could be a mobster show. Let's just say Sopranos. Like,
Shout out to Sopranos.
when it first aired, or when you first aired it out, or whatever, you didn't know what was happening. But like, if you saw enough like, let's just say you've seen a lot of mobster movies, like, The
Right.
Godfather, like, Casino, all that, you kind of already know what's going to happen in Sopranos, even if you're just like going new into it or whatever. And I'd
Right.
say the same thing with anime or whatever. Go ahead, Phantom.
Okay, so I have Dragon Ball GT. So I have the complete series. So it is the
Unfortunately, I have it too.
okay. So now
Unfortunately.
this show is not this series is not god awful, but it's not good. There are pacing issues and stuff throughout the whole series, and
Okay.
It's
so-
short though.
so
Now,
yeah.
isn't Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Z? I'm sorry for derailing you for a moment, but
Yeah.
isn't Dragon Ball Z famous for having pacing issues? Because the
Yeah.
meme that even someone like myself is aware of is,
Okay,
it
so
takes like 10 episodes for someone to fully power up and before the fight actually begins.
Well,
like, to
that
me,
was-
that kind of
okay,
thing is
okay,
that meme, if you will. That is something that would immediately turn me off. to a
Okay,
show.
so
Yeah.
I'm not going to
back-
spend half a season waiting for someone to finally throw the first punch.
well, so
that's why they got Kai.
So basically, when the original Dragon Ball Z was being aired, they were still doing the manga alongside of it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
For example, it took nearly a month for them to do the fight between Goku and Frieza on Namek. It literally took a month.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were writing the manga as the same time as they were producing the anime.
Right.
And they literally came to, okay, so the episode that Krillin gets killed, they
I am aware of Krillin getting killed.
they
I know
took a
that's-
break. They took a break, and
That's why
that's what it took. That's the reason why it took so long for them to get.
That's why you
to
had like
finish that
Goku,
fight.
like energies for fighting Frieza's energies and everything. But to solve that Dragon Ball problem is because Toy saw what a lot of people were complaining about or whatever. They listened to their fans and they made Dragon Ball Z Kai. So they took majority of that filler out, and like you got about like roughly like 100 and something 80 episodes of Dragon Ball with Dragon Ball Kai or whatever. So I tell people, if you're going to watch Dragon Ball, however, you start out with the first Dragon Ball was when Goku's being a kid. Now, me personally, since I grew up with Dragon Ball Z, I can watch Dragon Ball Z the way it is. But if it's a new person, I will tell them to watch Dragon Ball Kai because like it's straight to the point, no power-ups. It's getting straight to the point. It's just like out of the manga. And then you go then you do Daima, and then you do Dragon Ball Super. That's the way I would tell people to do that.
Okay.
And another group.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just.
I was going to say, like,
I was thinking was you hit on another thing. So let's take Dragon Ball for instance. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT. I don't know the exact order. I know that Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z was in that order.
Yeah.
One thing that also have heard, which this is an episode of first for myself, is, we have Dragon Ball Z. Okay, let's just take that. We have Dragon Ball Z, and we had Dragon Ball came before that. Okay, and something else that I've heard from a lot of anime people is, let's say I caught an episode of Dragon Ball Z on Toonami or something, and I'm like 13 or 14 years, whatever. I go in the next day to school. I'm like, oh, I watched this episode of Dragon Ball Z, and then there's going to be people at the lunch table who are like, well, have you watched Dragon Ball yet? I'm like, well, no.
They don't do that.
Episode of Dragon Ball Z, and they're like, no. You have to go back. You stop watching Dragon Ball Z. You have to go all the way back. You have to watch all of Dragon Ball first.
Most anime fans don't do that anymore. Back in the day,
that kind of thing.
Back in the day, they used to, but now it's like people understand.
See,
people understand now.
They're actually
I have to do homework in order to go.
No.
You don't have to do homework. You don't necessarily have to do it.
So in the Dragon Ball community, there are multiple camps on Dragon Ball. Like myself, I just say just watch Dragon Ball Z, from Dragon Ball Z through GT. Well, skip GT, do Daima and do Super GT. So this is not actually canon to the Dragon Ball series, because Toriyama did not do anything with this. So this was created by somebody else that Toriyama gave his blessings to. He signed off on certain designs like the Super Saiyan 4 and like certain things. Now, like, if you want to be canon to Dragon Ball, if you want to, I say go ahead and watch Dragon Ball Z. Well, technically, it's just Dragon Ball. There is no Z, there's no GT, there's no nothing. It's one continuous story in that sense in Japan. So it's just Dragon Ball.
Right.
If you want to do it, Dragon Ball Z, watch Daima, because Daima is a prequel to Super.
Yeah.
And that's how you should do it.
Okay.
But that's homework for most people, and most anime fans understand that nowadays. Right. Yeah, you don't have to do that, by the way, Jake.
I was gonna say that's another thing is when I've asked for anime recommendations, I think this is probably what turns a lot of people off it that are similar to me is will mention a show, or a show will be mentioned to us. And what people, maybe they won't say you have to watch this first and then this first, and then you can get into the show you want to watch. But it seems like universally, and you've been doing it as well, Phantom, is you'll watch this show, and then you should watch this show, and then you should watch this other show, which technically
continuation.
This next show, but then this show. What most of the time when I'm asking for an anime, I'm like a show. Like, I'm not concerned with. At the moment, I'm not concerned with what comes after or what continues the story. I'm just trying to find a show that I can sit and enjoy.
A show to watch.
If I so choose, after the fact, I could watch another show. Now, I'm not asking for recommendations right now at this point.
Yeah.
I'm asking about like the mechanics of it. I'm asking why people think this way, why they go about doing these things.
It's just because that's what they grew up with. That's what it is. Like, let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Like, the majority of us grew up with. Yeah,
genuinely. It's because that's.
Yeah, I'm telling you how most anime fans think. Like, once again, because they're fans of what they. Because back then, Jake, if you were an anime fan, you didn't like really say it out loud back in the day, because you were you'd be considered weird. You'd be considered weirdo and everything.
Music and Magic the Gathering and things like that, like and video games, World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
I know exactly about, like, you don't tell people what you're into in that sense.
And it doesn't help. You got like people like Matt Walsh and other people are saying if you like anime, you're freaking.
You're a pedo or you're satanic.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't.
So the thing is, like, with most anime fans, they are mostly, not all of them, but a lot of them are socially awkward. So when you ask them a question, sometimes they will actually think that you're their best friend because you're actually talking to them too at the same time and
You're
everything.
interested in
So
the
you
thing
gotta
they
like put that. You have to put that into factor too. Like, you know, depending on who you ask or whatever. Like if they start acting a little weird or socially awkward, you gotta put that into factors. But you know, for the most part, what I do, how I get people into anime is one, I let them ask me if they're interested. I never, you know, put it on them to do it or whatever. Like, because there's a lot of fans. I mean, there's a lot of fans that bug their friends to get into anime and then they'll never do it because like when do you ever recommend something and your friends like you keep on recommending it and they ever get to it?
Brother,
Never happens. I'm like,
before you continue, I just want to say I have a perfect example of that. I have a friend of mine.
Mhm.
He lives in Georgia, and I've known him since I was like 11 or 12 years old. Like when I started playing World of Warcraft for the first time. Nerd alert, right? We were in the same guild together. He would have been like, I would have been 11 or 12. He would have been like 24, 25 at the time. To this day, 20 years later, twice a year, he messages me to check on me, see how I'm doing. And he asks me if I watch Naruto. And I'm like, no. And for 20 years, he's asked me if I watch Naruto. I'm like, dude, I don't. I haven't watched it. And he's like, well, now they're on episode like 1069 or something like that.
yeah, see,
That's
that's what I'm saying. Like that's where people make
exactly.
that's where people make the mistake.
Right.
Yeah. So like once again, like if you came to me and you say like, hey, you know, Crease, I like tell me about some of these anime things. The things that I will like I've seen people that try to get their friends into anime and just recommend the wrong shows. And when I mean the wrong shows, once again, I'll see people tell them, "Oh man, you should just watch Dragon Ball Z first. Gotta watch Dragon Ball Z first." No, don't do that to that person. They ain't ready for that. Like they gotta work their way up to that. When people is talking about, oh yeah, man, Naruto. Yep, you can watch Naruto. Yeah, I think Naruto will be good. No, dude, don't do that. Like, no, you gotta ease them in. You gotta ease them in. You know what I'm saying? Like once again, never have long series like that are over 100 episodes. Don't do it. Like I think you're pushing when you're doing 50 episodes or whatever. But you know,
dude, I recommend movies like Ghost in the Shell, Vampire Hunter D. Like I recommended Erwin 8 Men After the other night. I mostly recommend movies, but before anime shows. For me, it's like, okay, yeah, I have them. Even I don't go back and watch shit like this. I mean, like, yeah, I might watch Voltron, which, you know, the American version of it, which is still based off an anime, but I don't recommend anything that's gonna be like somebody be like, I watched an episode, it's too long, I don't really care. I'm like, yeah, just start with movies. Just do movies.
So even with movies, I'm glad that you said that, Phantom. Like with Ghost in the Shell, like me personally, I would not recommend that. Like, because most people, and this is another thing, Jake, because there's two different that like Phantom says, they're different camps of anime fans. Like, you know, for me, like I can watch because I grew up with it. I can watch 90s and mid 2000s anime, no big deal. But this new generation, like if you recommend them something like that is like under like 2010, they look at you crazy. Like, you know, they're like, oh man, this animation is old, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what I always do, and you have to factor that in too. Like, you know, okay, I might like it, but this person never grew up with anime. So like I gotta like see what like, okay.
What they like.
If we're gonna do movies, like if they're gonna do movies, I recommend like, you know, like some of the new school Dragon Ball Z movies, like the new ones, because the animation is new It's fresh, you know. Like I don't recommend any of the first 13 movies. I don't recommend those. I'll recommend these the new
13.
ones, like like Battle of the Gods, Resurrection F. Some there's you got Psychopaths.
Broly. You
And
have
then
to recommend
and then you got
Broly.
the Broly movie or whatever, like Psychopaths. Like they got movies, like they got the Psychopaths movies. And of course, the Demon Slayer movies that those I would recommend first. And if they got some peak of interest, I think you could get away with Akira, because Akira looks new enough to where you get like people still watch it or whatever.
That was going to be the one example that I was going to point out, is like this kind of
Mhm.
divide between like newer animation and older animation. Because
Mhm.
although I haven't watched it, and I know that's sacrilegious to say, I've never seen Akira. However,
He's good.
every person that's ever mentioned Akira to me mentions how its animation is like the best. It is the best animated.
It's best for its time.
Movie
Jake,
ever. They
Jake,
say it is absolutely incredible.
Okay,
And
so
I've just never seen it. I've just never sat down to watch it.
I'll give you an example why the animation is so good in this movie. So in Neo Tokyo, they have holograms that are all over the city. These are hand drawn holograms. They literally hand draw each
Well,
of
the
the things
entirety of
on.
Akira would be hand drawn.
Yeah.
Right.
And it looks like they're really holograms. It looks so real.
Right.
Now, so like for myself, like say like I asked somebody like what type of movies you like to watch, and they say, oh, like I like the Transformers and I like Pacific Rim and I like stuff like that.
Right.
Like for
So
myself,
they
I'll be
would be
like,
into mecha anime, I imagine.
and I would recommend the Mazinger Z of 50th anniversary movie that came out like a few years ago, free on YouTube if anybody wants to see it. Like if they like fighting movies or like boxing, I would recommend
Hajime Ippo.
Yep.
Speaking of fighting anime, this is something that was recommended to me. I don't remember exactly who recommended it, but they told me it was on Netflix, which would make it easier for me to watch.
Baki the Grappler.
If I could find it, that's exactly what it was. It was Baki.
It's good anime.
They recommended.
Good
anime. They recommended. They recommended Baki. They recommended Baki Hamna. They recommended Baki versus Kengan Ashura.
Yeah. Shout out to Sosa if he's watching. That's his anime. Like if you want to go to about Baki, he knows everything about that, bro. Like shout out to him.
And I think they didn't specify, but I have a feeling just by looking at like trailers and stuff for it. I think the reason they recommended it was because it's a fighting anime, from what I'm aware of the genre. But it's not like magically infused fighting anime. It's like grounded. It's just guys throwing fists, basically. There's no like magic.
Pretty much.
Like that. Okay.
Now,
and is that considered good? Like I know that like Baki came out in like 2020, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's still good. It's still new animation.
It's considered and this isn't another. There's Akira sign as well. I know that picture walking up that bike, which is a sick bike. And, I know it very much influenced like the Matrix and things like that.
And the motorcycle. This motorcycle drag or whatever, like that classic motorcycle drag.
Yeah, it looks like a dragster motorcycle specifically. It's really long.
Yeah,
like that, which is really badass.
Well, and that motorcycle and stuff was based off the Tron motorcycles.
Yeah, it's based on light cycles, was it? Okay. Well, I know again from seeing like scenes of it on YouTube or whatever, that they have like the light trails behind it, so it kind of looks like the Tron light cycles. Things like that. Okay.
Now,
Okay.
so like when it comes to anime, you're gonna have people that will tell you, they try to dictate on what you should watch,
Yes. Yes. Oh,
and
I've gotten that a ton. You need to watch this, or you should watch this,
yeah,
and and probably even worse, you should not watch this. Like I've even had people, and I know this is contentious. I imagine you guys would have a comment on it. I've had people tell me you should watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but you should not watch Full Metal Alchemist because it's
should watch
bad.
both.
And I'm like,
No. You watch them
well, what
both.
does it? What
Watch
does it?
both.
Right,
Watch
and
both.
I understand that's going back to like, this is an anime you should watch, but you should watch this one first, or what have you. But I've had people say like, you should watch this one, but the one that came before it, don't watch.
And they're two. The thing is, Jake, when it comes to the the two Full Metal, they're two totally different stories. They're totally different stories.
Yeah,
they might have elements of
like
each
they're the
one,
same,
but they're totally different.
Yeah.
But with some
the first one, the first one is like, it's a solid anime. Like what I'll tell people is watch the first Full Metal Alchemist first, so that way it'll plant the seeds for you. Then watch Brotherhood because it's more towards the manga. Like that's what it is. It's basically
filler.
the manga or whatever.
It has less filler. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's.
So this might also be something, because I know you guys are into anime. You guys have both you, Phantom, and you, Kreese. Ebola, I would like to hear some from you as well. You guys have shown me plenty of movies. You guys have shown me plenty of shows. You guys have pulled out receipts. You guys have had the DVDs or the Blu-rays or what have you. Another thing that I've run into is because the vast majority of anime, just like historically, are based off of manga or run like in line with a manga. Hey, what's up, Devon? How you doing, bro?
This guy.
Hey, no, much. Just at the Las Vegas airport.
It's going to be a great conversation in that case. I was just about to ask that another thing that I've run into is when asking for recommendations of anime, there's a number of people, I would say a good proportion of them, say that you need to read the manga first, or you need to read
you don't.
the manga in line.
You don't have
with
to.
the anime. Like
it's not necessary.
Okay, so Jake, the anime.
Well, let Vagabond talk.
Let me make a point. So the anime's there, so you don't have to watch. You don't have to read the manga.
See, that's what I always thought. That's what I always thought. I was like, if
let me
the
add to
anime
that.
is based off the manga,
let Vagabond talk. Like,
okay, so,
I think he's an expert on this part.
Okay, so the most of the anime are basically commercials to hype you up to read the manga. So you'll see most of them are 24 or 12 episodes. Sometimes they can't go to 56. There's only a rare few occasions certain ones go like One Piece goes 1,000 episodes or whatever, right? Or Dragon Ball. But most of them is really to sell sell you on the manga. So they'll stop at a certain thing, get you hyped up, like, hey, I want to find out more. And then you end up reading the manga. And since they're ordered a number, you start from number one and keep going on. So most of them are to sell the actual manga itself.
Okay, so I guess that's largely the reason why people say that if you're going to watch anime, you should read the manga as well, because of what you just said.
No, take that. Ignore those people. Like I said, the manga is like, not saying you can't go just read the manga itself and then watch anime, but it's really to sell you on the fact that, hey, I really like the story where it was going in this direction. Maybe I should check out the manga to keep finding out more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vagabond, like, since like Jake is like new in anime, me and Phantom already talked about this enough. What do if somebody was to get started in anime, like how would you introduce them into the world of anime? Like,
Usually when I go about it differently than most people, I base it off of their personality.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, that's
because
what most
like
these days.
yeah, because like for instance, a lot of people will say like, "Hey, go watch One Punch Man," right? But or whatever, just because they enjoyed it. But like when they gave it to the suggestion to Matt Walsh, and the Matt Walsh's personality is like, "Hey, he needs things based on reality or whatever like that."
Steins Gate. Steins Gate would
Yeah,
be good for him, Matt Wash.
or maybe like a more physical psychological thing. So like maybe
Yeah,
that's where you give them like Death Note or like something with
yeah,
philosophy like Psychopaths.
Mhm.
Like if
yeah,
you lived in a
Yeah.
society where it's kind of like Manchurian Candidate and you delete people before they become criminals.
yeah.
That's like
And
Minority
The,
Report.
and also you have to keep an eye out on people that bash anime all the time because they've never seen anime.
That's,
They have no
and
clue what they're.
that's also something. This is
Mhm.
Galvin
again, this is
McGinnis.
the episode of
Mhm.
first where I've asked
Mhm.
like a zillion questions already, and
Mhm.
I've given my life experiences regarding
Mhm.
it. There's also like, if we're going to split it into two more camps, for instance, there's the people that are die hard with anime and can find an anime for every personality type, and then there's the people like
Mhm.
do not watch anime, like it's not good, it takes too long to get into it, there's way too many episodes, it's not that interesting, etc.
It's
So
no different than people say that there's no such thing as like good comic books. There's good comic books and you can find
Mhm.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? Is it hard to get into? Like not if you have somebody that can guide you. You just got to ask the expert. That's all it is. But
And
also as anime fans, you have like Vagabond said, you have to take yourself out of the situation. Like
Mhm.
I might love Yu Yu Hakusho, but I'll not recommend it to people yet and
Mhm.
everything. They have to work their way up to that. However, you got to keep them small series, people, small series, and like something that's close to their personality, like Vagabond said. However,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also you have to think the anime. A lot of people are not made to watch anime. A lot of people probably just
okay,
will not watch anime.
what, before you continue, what do you
Mm.
mean by there are some people that are not meant to watch anime? What does that,
Well,
like, what do you mean by that?
Oh, so there are people that like the normies, right? They're used to American cartoons. And
Okay,
there is a difference between American cartoons and anime because
right,
anime is
right,
Yes.
more for an adult oriented viewing because
right.
it's more graphic. You have more sexual content, more alcohol, more drug use, whatever in anime.
Right.
I
When
tend to
because
disagree a little bit, but go ahead.
I mean, how can you disagree? Because I mean, in
Because we
American
got we got
cartoons,
adult we got adult cartoons too. That's what I was saying. It's like
well, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to anime, the difference between anime and American cartoons is the style. It's the style, and a lot of people that have watched American cartoons, say like SpongeBob or Danny Phantom or any of the Nickelodeon or Disney or whatever, it's like a future shock when they see maybe Vampire Hunter D or their first like Helsing or something. It's culture shock. It's a culture shock, and I'm
yeah,
grateful that they brought Digimon, they brought Yu-Gi-Oh, and they brought Pokemon and stuff to America. And you gotta think back when I was a kid, they had Speed
Becky Starving.
Racer, they had
Astro Boy.
Astro Boy, and they had Space Battleship Yamato. They had Voltron, and they had Mazinger Z when I was a kid growing up. Um, a
well,
lot, a lot of people tendency when it comes to anime. If people see something that they like, they'll watch it. If they think, "Oh, this is a porn, I can't watch this. This guy's head explodes or something," they just won't watch it. You know, you
Okay,
have
yeah.
to
so
be real
So
careful with anime.
Well,
What do you have
I
to
would
say
say
about
this. There's so much variety in it. Just like there's something for
Yeah.
everyone. I believe. Um, Even though like because a lot of people, like I said, they'll watch the most popular things and that'll be their suggestion. But maybe someone's not into gore, but then you recommend them like a gore show or something like that.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah, you gotta look at people's personality.
Right.
yeah, but what I like to say is like when it comes to like people who maybe don't belong in it is like they joined it because it's like a popular thing now to like since it's like it used to not be popular since it but then when they go into like something is already established like usually when it comes to fan service they're like oh man they need to change the show because there's fan service in there or whatever and that's most of the time where the contention is like people trying to change it's other people are already
Yeah.
enjoying and no issues at all.
Mhm.
So Vagabond, I think you bring up another like big contentious point for someone like me who is not learned in anime is that, and this is again something like with the previous 12 things that I've mentioned. There is a lot of contention, and it maybe it's. I guess I kind of understand it, but I think I can definitely see why a lot of other normies wouldn't be able to understand it. Is there's this aspect in a lot of anime where there is fan service in the sense that there's like fan service episodes. There's parts in episodes which are like strictly done for fan service. There's things like that, which is not really something that happens in, I guess, like Western animation, for example.
Mm.
Where does that like fan service aspect and come from? Like, does anybody know like what started that, or why that still continues to
Because
happen?
most people in Japan are blue balled. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's
So
it's
it
a
could be
type of
strictly a
degeneracy.
cultural thing.
I mean, the thing is, not all fan service is bad. Not all of it's bad.
Yeah.
Well,
If it
right,
serves the
right.
Well,
purpose.
not all fan service is
Yeah.
bad. I can understand that,
Mm.
but it seems that whenever anyone brings up fan service when it comes to anime, it seems like the only thing that they're thinking about is, let's say it's an anime where it's a team of like 5 women or 5 girls that are doing something.
Crotch
And then
shots
when
and
they
shit like
think
that,
about
yeah.
fan service, they think about things like crotch shots, they're bending over the skirts, are blowing up, or they have like fan service episodes
Mm.
where 20 minutes out of the 28-minute episode is them being completely naked in a pool or something. Like
Well,
that is
Yeah.
what they consider fan service, and there's like nothing else.
Well,
Yeah,
I
so-
mean, the thing is, the people that said fan service is bad, they're hypocrites. If they watch Deadpool and Wolverine, that movie was nothing
Yeah.
but fan service. That was 110% fan service. That whole entire
I
movie.
mean,
Well-
you can see like in freaking like Marvel movies and DC movies with the women and whatever, or like I mean, in this case now the guys are getting fan service. Like fan service is an American entertainment. It's just like they think it's just weird with like for animation in 2D. That's all it is. Because I mean, like cartoons, anime, it's all
Right.
animation at the end of the day, or whatever. Just two different cultures, or whatever.
Right.
Well, yeah, well, just like what Jake was saying. Okay, so most of it, like I get what everyone's saying, but the thing is, when it's said, it's kind of what Jake is saying, where that's what certain people are associate with it. Like, yeah, there's other stuff that can be included, but usually when they're complaining, it's like if you're watching Fire Force and the character Tamaki, her clothes rip off for no reason, like no reason to the story or whatever, it just happens, and that's part of the joke.
Yeah.
But it's just usually like I said, it's a mostly male hobby, and
Yeah.
and most of the readers are young men, right? So
Yeah.
they show what's interesting to them that
They're just
want to
catering
keep
to
on
their
watching.
audience.
Yeah, so that's really what it boils down to. It's like they know what the
There's
audience
Also
like.
a cultural thing. It's also a cultural thing too.
Yeah.
Right.
I
But,
was gonna say,
like
hold
Chris
on,
is saying,
before we do anything, I was gonna say this. Like, Our boy Ebola hasn't talked. Ebola, you gotta say something, man. I think you did. Like, say something. Say anything.
I am alive. Just in
You
case
are
that
alive.
was, just in case that was anyone's concern, I'm still alive.
You're our Asian
Well,
enthusiastic person. What do you think? What as a anime fan or Asian connoisseur? What is your thoughts on helping Jake with anime? What do you think? Come on, say something. Everybody, be
Okay.
quiet.
I guess I would start with Pokemon and work your way up from Pokemon because I guess Pokemon's the easy thing to start with.
Mhm.
So you start with kind of the easy, then you work your way up to the more like I guess complex ant shows,
Mhm.
and then to where it's a bit easier to get into anime.
Okay, so what you're mentioning there
Thanks,
is,
Ebola.
starting somewhere. Well, he actually brought
Yeah,
up
no, I just said
another thing that
thanks,
I was,
Ebola. Like, he did a good job. He did a good job.
and this made me think about another thing that comes up, which is progression, if you will.
Yeah.
Another thing I've run into a lot when speaking to people about anime is if they're not in the camp of you need to watch this, and this first before you watch this, they're in the camp of start here and then you need to progress in this specific way, watching these specific
Pretty much
anime to get to this point. And I guess my contention with that is I can understand starting at one point because it would be an easy introduction to get you to that. But what I guess I don't quite understand is people seem to have in their own way, they have their own specific ladder of progression that can differ wildly from person to person. Why is it that there is this progression system, if you will, in starting in one spot, and if you want to end up here, you need to take these steps along the way? Like, why? Why can't I just watch this first one and then jump all the steps and then watch this other one? Is because
I think Vagabond should answer that question.
Animation is because of the difference in style. What? Why?
You'd be lost from here to here.
Yeah.
But if they're different
totally
shows,
lost.
what would it matter? If
Well,
they're
it's
totally
different
shows, why,
but-
not even in the same brand, why would it matter?
Well,
Let Vagabond talk.
Yeah, go ahead, Vagabond.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I disagree with the progression thing because people have different maturity levels and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So, say you're someone that you like action movies and watching, or okay, actually, a better idea. You like martial art movies and watching, like people blow up and stuff. That person that likes martial arts stuff, I can recommend them Baki the Grappler, Fist of the North Star, stuff like that. And
Hajime Ippo.
Yeah, Hajime Ippo, like someone who's a martial artist, like show them that that's violent or whatever, but like they can handle it. So I don't really believe in the progression thing. I think the best is like, hey, what's their personality? Are they like, hey, do they love jokes on comedy? Then maybe a romantic comedy and give them like a description of what it is. But other than that, like I don't see the whole progression thing.
So
I mean, progression should be only in the series that pertains to where you started at. Say like Dragon Ball,
like a storyline progression.
Yeah.
Because see, I understand obviously I understand storyline progression. I totally get that. The progression that you guys have been explaining to me and what I've been I have contention with is starting at like one anime, like Ebola was mentioning, like Pokemon, for instance. Like, why should it be that I'm just pulling this out of my ass? I don't know if this is actually the case, but why should it be that in like a 5-step progression, we start with Pokemon and then we jump 3 more steps until we get to something like Demon Slayer, for instance? Like, why would it be that from different series one to another that there would be a progression there? Like, to warm me up to the style, to warm me up to the content, to warm me up to the animation, to warm me up to
I think the best
story?
example of a show, a series that would do progression would be Gundam.
Mhm.
And so, and the reason why, because it splits off into different types of styles within the Gundam universe. Or
Timelines and everything.
yeah, or
Yeah.
like okay, so one series there's no new types of people because they lived in space for so long. Other series
Yeah.
there's the Gundams are piloted by suits that moves to their body movements,
G
and
Gundam.
Yeah.
yeah, so that one you could do a progression to the different
Yeah.
types of like
Yeah.
Gundam series, um, because so a lot of them don't have to do with any other. It's, usually, I'm against multiverses, but Gundam has like their own little multiverse thing,
That work.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
It
and you can
works.
probably do
I
a progression
mean,
type of thing to do stuff like that.
like I tell my friends if they're into politics, I tell them just watch Gundam. You'll like Gundam. Like it's easy to understand. You can get like it has sort of like a Democrat Republican type of thing. Like not saying that that's what it is or whatever, but you can kind of know who's who and everything by the way they talk or
But
whatever. Like
like if I would want to recommend Gundam, either start with Gundam Wing or G Gundam. You can start with either one.
Mhm.
That's a good starting point. Is either G Gundam or Gundam Wing.
Okay.
That's a
see
good place to
See,
start
me
at.
personally, I wouldn't even start them out with those two. I'll start them out with Gundam Unicorn or whatever, like something new or whatever. Like I'm going back to like it's short and the animation is
Well,
like take it to we'll
I
take them in
mean,
like
Crease. I mean, if you really think about it, G Gundam. I think G Gundam's around the same amount of episodes as Unicorn. Maybe, maybe
well
one or two
no,
more
but
or less.
I'm looking at the animation style, bro. Like that's what I'm always factoring in because like you with most people nowadays it's not me, it's like most of the society today, if they look at old animation they don't want to do it at all. I know it's crazy for me to say it like that, but I just ran
No,
into too many
I
of those people, so
I do
that's why I
agree with
say
Kreese
like
on that.
Mhm.
I do agree with Kreese. There's some people which I have met where it's like they won't even watch a black and white movie because they think
Yeah.
the tech's too old and
it's too old. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like that's why I say like as much as we got to take ourselves out of it. Like yeah, we might love Gundam Wing and G Gundam, but you got to factor in okay, this is somebody new that hasn't watched anime before.
Mhm.
Okay, Gundam, they like politics. Okay, Gundam Unicorn, it's new. It's not that old. The animation is like real. Can bring them in, and like the voice acting is pretty damn good or whatever. Like it doesn't take them out of it or whatever. So you got to factor that in. So that's what I tell
Okay.
people.
Okay. So here is one of my, I guess, one of my final inquiries. And now, Vagabond, I know you're at the airport, so you're probably going to be boarding here in a little bit. We got about 15 minutes left.
no, I'm boarding. I'm not going to arrive to Georgia till like 7 a.m. in the morning. My flight
Oh, well,
leaves
you got a
here
while then in
at
that case.
pretty much midnight. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. So here is one of my, because I know we're coming up about 15, 20 minutes till a 2 hour mark. Um, here is one of my, I guess, final questions I could say is,
Mhm.
and this I can understand. This for me, I know this is just more about like I'm not into it enough or read up on enough, so I don't quite understand. In anime now, so analogous to just like standard Hollywood movies, how you have action movies, you have comedy movies, you have martial arts movies, you have romantic comedy movies, you have psychological dramas, you have horror, etc., and so forth.
Yeah.
For anime, it seems like there are so many different
Oh
genres.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
I guess what I am attempting to get out of you guys, attempting to ask is, are these, I know they have names that are in Japanese that are Anglicanized so that we can try and pronounce them, but when it comes to all of these different genres of anime, are they like, are they tiered in such a way that there's certain genres that are like level 1 and certain genres that are like way up at level 5? And also when it comes to various genre anime, because I know that's a term, is there like intro level genre anime and then there's like the advanced level of genre anime? And could you guys like help me with some of those terms so that I know that, you know, if I look up an anime and it says it's this genre of anime, like what that would imply? Like, could you guys give me a crash course on that?
Let's look at isekai, right? Let's look at the isekai anime. So isekai is something traveling from another world to this reality, and it's with like soul leveling. Soul leveling is a reverse isekai. So this guy comes to
you haven't even you've isekai, but now we're into reverse isekai. Like,
well, so they're tying into each other. So so it's like soul leveling. So this guy this guy goes into this other world, and he has so everybody is when they don't power up, they stay at a certain level throughout their lives. But the main character of soul leveling, he continuously levels up his power as he goes along. So he gets more and more and more powerful. Now, you know, you have like horror, which is you know what the horror is going to be.
Yeah,
you know,
understand horror.
So I would say, go ahead, Vagabond. You can probably tell this more than I can.
Oh, okay. So some of them also like mix match and stuff too. So So isekai in itself is in another world, like going to another world. The reverse isekai is something from another world coming to our world, pretty much, right? And then within it could be a horror version,
Digimon.
which or like Digimon, the kids go to their world. It kind of does both, and then they come back and monsters come in our world. And it's like mixing the two. Or sometimes you like mecha, and the mecha is like if you like giant robots and people piloting them, and that's where your mecha anime comes in. And some of those got stuff from another world coming to ours, like Evangelion. So you could kind of say it's a reverse isekai, right? Like they got creatures called angels coming to our world and destroying things up. And then, but like there's so many different categories. But like the main ones that you would start off first would be like shonen, which is like pretty much series generated for like teenage boys type of thing. And usually those it's like, hey, there's a character, he has to go on a journey and overcome challenges
level up.
Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece.
And the thing is,
they got a female version of that too.
The thing is, with all those series, I wouldn't even recommend those to see. This is where like you have to like. You remember when I told you, Jake, you got to work your way up to those or whatever. To me, like if I was gonna start somebody or whatever, and then let's for our personality or just starting out the tier list or whatever, just normie animes. Once again, Attack on Titan. It's short, it's straight to the point or whatever.
Really
you can easily.
I wouldn't even recommend. I wouldn't even recommend Attack on Titan.
It's like 64 episodes, right? How many episodes is it?
Give me a second.
Dude, there's multiple seasons. I wouldn't even.
Yeah, you can have multiple seasons, but you have
multiple seasons is fine. If there's like a few dozen episodes, that's okay.
I wouldn't recommend
the only thing that seems like I'm not gonna even bother is like.
Hold on, let Ebola give me the answer first.
Okay.
How many episodes is it, Ebola?
For season 1 is.
What's the total, man? Like.
So season 1 has 25 episodes for season 1, 12 for season 2, 22 for season 3, and season 4 has 30.
47, 30.
So what's the math on that?
That's close to about 80, a little over 80.
Okay, that's a little bit too much. Okay, I'll take that back. So like
Oh.
Death Note, like definitely Death Note, like that one it's reasonable or whatever. Or like if you're into shonen, One Punch Man, it's funny parody and it's making fun of shonen, but it's still somewhat interesting. Just watch season 1. You don't need to watch season 2. Don't watch season 2. Don't do that shit.
Well,
yeah.
like
so.
for me, if I was going to recommend Jake, I don't know. Are you guys each going to say a suggestion that what you would recommend?
Oh,
Jake?
I imagine so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He likes grounded in reality type of stuff.
Yeah,
Vagabond.
The big one that I threw out was Black Lagoon. Like I thought Black Lagoon was great. I really, really enjoyed that because it was grounded in reality in the set. Like Revy, does crazy shit that you can never do with two guns in real life. But I like the fact that there's really not a lot of magic or sorcery or like weird like other.
Yeah, it's a crime story,
like
pretty much.
Grounded stuff. I enjoy that. I
Yeah.
don't mind if grounded stories get like crazy, but as long as it's like in reality, I can really like get my teeth, sink my teeth in that, and really enjoy that.
Also, based on your reality, I would do Detroit City Metal.
Okay.
So it's a band like Kiss, and it's an anime of them doing like
Oh
anime
yeah,
of, like a Kiss like band.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, what happened, Chris?
I think we might have just lost it for a moment. But continue. Detroit City Metal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I might be saying the name wrong, but yeah, it's a heavy metal band. I mean, it's a band just like Kiss in Japan doing tours and doing crazy hijinks. Hey, I'm on stream. You ever seen Paul Hadoken?
Yeah, I know who Paul Hadoken is.
What's up, Paul? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Paul?
How you been?
Yeah,
How's it going, man?
We gotta get him on the show. We gotta get him on the homies.
Yeah, Paul.
This time they need to get you on the show. This is anime for the homies.
Oh, I'm down.
He said he's down.
Just tell me which.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have to tell him what anime to watch and stuff. All right, so they're doing an episode.
There's so many. Like, what is he like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he like?
We'll get him on.
Yeah, we'll get him on. We'll get him on.
Hey, just tell him this the show that Big Dog Jake's on.
This is a show Big Dog Jake's on.
Oh, is he on?
Yeah, Big Dog Jake's here.
I'm on right now,
Jake!
Oh, hold on.
You motherfucker!
He said it's good to see you. I got these headphones in, so
yeah, you probably can't hear me.
Yeah. Well, no, they can hear you.
I can hear
Well,
Paul.
this is not his.
Hi, everyone. Love you. Oh, sorry. He's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not his number show because he's on For the Homies. This is our little show.
But we'll get him on. We'll get him on.
I've known Paul. I've known Paul for I don't know. Early last year, I met him through Melee Games.
He said he met you through Melee Games.
Melee Games when he launched his book club and we did like music albums. I did those first few episodes with him, things like that. Like I know him. I know DJ Axis. I know Insidious Bliss.
You know
like,
DJ
I'm
Axis.
aware of all those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Paul's a homie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But since you love music, Jake, or whatever, I highly recommend Mongolian Chop Squad. Like this one right here. Mongolian Chop Squad.
For the homies.
It is. It's 26 episodes. It's made in the mid 2000s, a little old or whatever, but you'll like it. Like the intro song is pretty damn good. Like it's basically rock. It's like rock music, dude. Like it's like making a homage to like rock music back in the day, whatever. It's a rock music anime.
Oh, right on.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
he's watching the stream.
Hell yeah.
Jake, have you ever seen You've seen Metalocalypse, right?
Oh, dude, I love Metalocalypse. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't watched the most recent season, which came
there he is.
out
What's up, Paul?
2 years
Let's
ago.
go.
Because I wanted to watch it with my wife. I wanted to watch Metalocalypse with my wife, and she's never seen it before, and so I haven't watched the 4th season. And I haven't listened to the new Death album only because I want to watch it all the way through with her.
Dude,
you know another good one is Bocce the Rock.
Oh yeah, I keep on hearing about that one. Like I heard that one was pretty good or whatever.
That one
Bocce
they
the
use
Rock.
actual locations in Japan that they do. They have an underground rock scene at, and there's a bar where you're not allowed to take pictures, but there's pictures of the stairs to get down to there.
Yeah.
Weaves
See,
and
these are the
they went down
animes you'll
there,
recommend. Yeah. These are the animes that you will recommend since Jake loves metal music or whatever. Like this is like these are the type of animes like a Mongolian Chop Squad. Like this is about metal music and just rock music, bro. Like this anime right here is really good, man.
You know another good one?
I will definitely say that if it's again, like I mentioned earlier in the show, if you have shows that are similar to Black Lagoon, and I'll even add now, if you have shows that are similar,
I got
to, like,
one. Everyone's going to agree with me.
If you have shows similar to that, I'm
no. It's Samurai Champloo.
Oh, Samurai Champloo is mentioned earlier. Okay.
Yes.
I already recommended it to him.
Yeah, with the hip
I already recommended it to him.
Yes, Vagabond. We're trying to keep Jake away from harem anime. Okay,
we're
trying to keep him away. Yeah, we're trying to keep him away from that.
I will admit this: when we're if hentai is going to be brought up in any way, shape, or form, I have watched La Blue Girl only because I was told it was a classic. I watched it. It was what it was, and I'm like, oh, is this what they're all like? Ooh, geez, oh my god. But anyway, I wanted to.
I wouldn't do that to you.
That was.
Well, I will say, thanks to Tenchi Yo,
it was something.
There's hair on elements and stuff.
No.
Yeah, he would do it. All right, we got like 4 minutes left. What do you guys want to like?
You know what?
Plug?
Okay, since we only have a few minutes left, get our plugs in, and then you guys can recommend me. What's your one anime that you would recommend me?
Gotcha.
If you had to pick one of the past 2 hours or whatever, if you had to pick one, that's what I'll ask. One anime from each of you.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
Let Vagabond go first, since he's dead last to the show.
My bad.
He's
traveling. Chill.
With hanging out with Iron Oxide and them, and had some funny stories. And we went to the One Piece Cafe. So Sophie, I got pictures for over there.
Oh yes, Sophie's jealous of you. She's really jealous of you.
But if I was to recommend him outside of the choices that I've already said, let's see, I would also do maybe if I was going to give him something for you and your girlfriend to watch at the same time together,
wife
as a couple,
wife
or your wife. I'm sorry, wife.
That's all right.
I would do shuffle. I mean, not shuffle. Sorry, it's called School Rumble.
School Rumble.
Oh yeah, School Rumble.
I'm writing these
You can
down.
watch it in English. It's not bad, and it's a romantic comedy, and both you and your wife will love it together.
Right on.
And there's no powers or anything, but it's really funny and it's grounded as well.
Okay, thank you.
Got anything to plug?
Yeah. So I did upload a short of the One Piece restaurant. I got to make some other videos, and then I probably got one of my biggest guests that's going to come on. I swear it's not hentai. So if you watch FNT and or TMNT, well TMNE, I mean, you guys will know who it is.
Is it Seven?
Would it be Chris Gore?
No, but even though I did meet up with Chris Gore, the guy's British.
Is it Disparu?
Disparu.
Yeah, Disparu. I was telling him about Mysterio's Girlfriend X. So he says now he has to come on the podcast.
You know what? Shout out to Vagabond and his Disparu interview. That's gonna be like
that's gonna be dope.
I will actually tune into that.
Yeah. So that one, I'm gonna have it when I do the Mysterious Girlfriend X show episode. So
no,
I'm gonna have other people watch it, so then we can all talk about it.
Oh my gosh! And when's that going to be released? Do you think?
But yeah, catch me here next week. I'll also be on our X podcast. Watch that during the week. We're gonna talk about the craziness with some of the folks from all the groups that happen here. people getting wasted and all kinds of other fun stuff. But yeah, tune out for that on either both Wednesday. We're probably gonna be talking about it for the whole month, honestly.
Okay.
In the few days, so much happened.
And what channel is, I can't believe it's not hentai going to be on?
That would be on my channel, The Runaway Vagabond.
The
As
Runaway
it's
Vagabond.
spelled
Hell yeah, brother.
out
Hell
on
yeah.
the screen.
Right on. Right on. All right. Hell
Okay,
yeah.
Chris. What do you have to recommend for Jake?
All right, Crease is up next. Here we go.
So since you like grounded in reality, outside of like Mongolian Chop Squad, highly recommend Vinland Saga. Like it is about
Vinland
Vikings.
Saga. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Intro, especially the first season, the intro is pretty dope. Like I highly recommend it. It's like on season 2 or like either season 2 or 3. There's like 3 seasons so far, I think. But yeah, highly recommend that. As far as what I got going on, definitely For the Homies podcast is this Thursday, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, however. So, tune in for that. And yeah, that's it. That's what I got going on. And of course I'll be here next week. So
Yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Okay.
oh yeah, I'm going to the
for-
Kendrick Lamar concert too. So
Oh hell yeah. They not like us. Mustard.
yeah.
Etc.
All right. So for myself, I'll recommend the Ultraman on Netflix. It's grounded in reality.
And is it just called Ultraman? Anything
Yeah.
specific?
Well,
Just
there's
called
two
Ultraman.
different. Yeah, there's 2 different versions. There's Ultraman Rising, but you want to watch the other one.
And what's the other one called? It's Ultraman and then Ultraman Rising. You want to watch Ultraman?
Yeah, watch the Ultraman. You'll
Okay.
be able to tell because they're more. They look like they're in like Iron Man suits type deal.
Okay.
I recommend that. Yeah. So next Thursday for the Homies podcast, 8 o'clock Eastern, and then be back here next Saturday, which we have no idea what we're gonna talk about. We might do a tier list.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
That's Chris's favorite. He wanted it. He was requesting a tier list.
All right. Ebola. If you had to pick
Mm.
one anime, series, or movie, if you had to pick one to recommend to me, what would your recommendation be?
I trying to think.
Please do your best.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Between if it's grounded or I guess Psychopaths is what I'm gonna recommend actually.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Psychopaths. It's called Psychopaths.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think of Manchurian Candidate, but an anime of that, but better.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much
like
this.
Psychopaths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Psycho
So-
hyphen pass. Okay.
So Jake, the
you go.
Ultraman series on Netflix,
Mhm.
it's like alien conspiracy murder mystery type deal.
Okay. I
You
can
might
get into
like
that.
it.
I can get into
With
that.
little
Okay.
little politics with aliens and stuff. It's actually really good.
Okay, right on.
Mhm.
And I guess I'll do an outro for myself, I suppose. My name is BiggDoggJake, BiggDoggJake. I am a professional, though occasional, voiceover actor stroke artist. I am a lover of video games and metal music and will talk to anyone about them. I am a political writer for hire. You can find me on X stroke Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Discord. It's BiggDoggJake. On all of those, I have that on lock. Nobody else has it. Reach out to me if you want any work done, if you want to talk, if you want to discuss any things, if you want me on the show. As always, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be on the For the Homies podcast. Other than that, I am still in the process of doing some moving with my wife and myself, getting ourselves settled. And I imagine once we get to like the mid-summer time, I will be much more open and much more available to going and appearing on other people's shows and doing things like that. But until then, you know where to find me. I just said so. And I just want to say thank you to Crease, thank you to Phantom, thank you to Ebola, and thank you for Vagabond for coming in. And thank you for giving me a little bit of a crash course on anime for a newbie, for someone who doesn't know much about it. Thank you for your recommendations. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to potentially doing this again sometime.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in tonight. And we will be seeing you guys Thursday night. Till next time, I'm Phantom X. He's Big Dog Jake. We got Ebola. We got the Runaway Vagabond. We got MMA Crease King. We're the homies. Good night, everybody. And we will see you Thursday.
Let's stream, nerds.